When we talk about the roots of economic consciousness, most people immediately think of Adam Smith, Karl Marx, or often Aristotle. But there is actually a quieter truth that even history itself has forgotten, a truth hidden inside the medieval world, something the West usually doesn't talk about. About 1,000 years ago, long before capitalism existed, a Muslim thinker made a warning so profound that it still echoes every time a financial crisis happens today. He said, "If money loses its morality, people lose theirs as well." And looking at the world today, it seems like he understood us far better than we think. Welcome to financial history, where money, power, and the past collide, and nothing is as simple as it looks. To understand al-Ghazali, you need to picture the world of the 1100s. Europe is shattered, poor, trying to emerge from the wreckage of the Dark Ages. Meanwhile, the Islamic world stretches from Andalusia to Iran, Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo, all buzzing wealthy. Caravans carry silk, spices, fabric, silver. Scholars debate philosophy, law, astronomy. The economy is alive, society is alive. Wealth is growing at a speed people could barely imagine. And in a world like this, al-Ghazali appears, a thinker, a jurist, a theologian. You know those people who can talk about both the soul and the economy with the same seriousness. He was one of them. Before even turning 35, he rises to one of the most prestigious positions of his era. But what makes him special isn't his career. It's the way he questioned the world. Wealth is rising, trade is expanding, people are chasing money. But something is missing. Society feels like it's decaying from within. He feels something is disappearing, and he asks this question. What happens if a civilization gets rich before it gets wise? Following that question leads him to money. Al-Ghazali is barely known in the West, yet he is one of the earliest thinkers to study money not just through calculation, but through human nature. Aristotle saw money as a tool. Modern economists analyze it mathematically. Al-Ghazali examined people's psychology, personality, and intentions in relation to money. To him, money is not sacred, not fancy, not a symbol of power. Money is a tool. That's all. Just like a mirror. A mirror has no value by itself. The things it reflects gain value. Money is the same. What matters is not the gold itself, but what people are able to do with it. And this leads him to a very important conclusion. Money that is hoarded is dead money. Money locked in a chest, kept under a mattress, not circulating, was harmful to people. Because if money doesn't circulate, the economy stalls. It doesn't reach workers. It doesn't feed trade. It doesn't sustain families. The blood circulation of society stops. But this wasn't just a moral issue. It was a systemic problem. As the wealthy hoarded money, scarcity appeared, not because resources ran out, but because circulation stopped. This distorted prices broke the market and crushed the poor. Another key point he made was, speculation destroys trust. He was very harsh toward merchants who manipulated prices, turned crises into opportunities, or created artificial scarcity. To him, this wasn't a smart game, but plain corruption. Whoever profits from another's suffering profits through corruption, he would say. And corruption is a virus. Once it starts, it spreads everywhere. Al-Ghazali wasn't against trade. In fact, he saw it as natural and necessary. But trade built on lies, deception, and concealment was, to him, the collapse of a society. Because markets operate on trust. If trust disappears, the economy disappears. Another important idea he had was about the right to labor. He believed that money earned through real work was good for both people and society. Money without labor had a way of hollowing a person out from the inside. So the real issue wasn't poverty or wealth. The real issue was how money was earned. But his most interesting criticism was directed at the state. Medieval rulers would sometimes reduce the gold/silver content of coins and mint more money. Basically, secret inflation. Al-Ghazali saw this as stealing from the people, because it destroys the credibility of money. The rich stay protected. The ones who suffer are the poor. The duty of the state is to protect the market, not manipulate it. A state that tampers with money slowly destroys its own society, he said. And the reason he said this wasn't theoretical. It was based on what he witnessed. In his time, states were raising taxes, debasing currency, seizing merchants' goods, borrowing heavily and mortgaging the future. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? According to Al-Ghazali, decay starts at the top and spreads downward. If rulers deceive their people, merchants will feel justified in deceiving their customers. If institutions don't inspire trust, why should individuals behave ethically? This is why his clearest warning was, a society can endure poverty, but it cannot endure corruption. If trust disappears, the system collapses. Money collapses, institutions collapse, and if people stop believing in one another, the economy stops progressing. What do we see today? The wealth gap is widening. Speculation is rewarded more than real production. Confidence in money is falling. Confidence in institutions is falling. Bubbles grow, burst, and grow again. And all of this is exactly what Al-Ghazali described 1,000 years ago. What he said was simple. Without justice, there is no prosperity. Economies don't collapse because of mathematics. They collapse because of people. They collapse because of fear, greed, shortcuts. When the moral frame around money breaks, the financial system breaks with it. That's why Al-Ghazali's words still matter today. Because money is not just metal or a digital number, it is a system of trust. And if that system collapses, we all get crushed under it.